And that's not, you know, it's very funny because we know so many people who've had so many different experiences in Scientology, in one aspect of it or another. I know a person, for instance, who she's a very dedicated Scientologist, makes her living as a Scientology counselor, yet almost all of her experience with Scientology has been outside of the Church of Scientology. So it's very interesting, and there are people who've had exact opposite experience for me and Aida, you know, where it's been completely bad the whole time. You know, it's a kind of a large organization with a lot of dedication and a lot of practice involved.
Yes, I have a very big reputation because I'm bilingual, and I contributed to Scientology in many aspects. I was an internationally known counselor. I received many awards. I, you know, cooperated with the church in many different things and helped them in many ways. And then when I said I disagree with this alteration of the technology of the Scientology or the scriptures of Scientology, I was a persona non grata instantly.
Yes,
and my international reputation went to nothing.
Something you took 20 years to build up.
Yes.
Your whole life,
Yes.
your profession.
Exactly. And then in the creed of Scientology, they talk about freedom of religion. And I have a friend right now who lives in Kitchener, I think is the town in Canada, because he's practicing his religion of Scientology outside the auspices of the church. His sister is very upset at him and is no longer talking to him. Talk about freedom of religion.
Yeah, you know, that's right. Why, if someone really believes in freedom of religion, then they should be tolerant of other people's beliefs or non-beliefs.
Exactly, and because of that suppression in the area of people wanting to practice Scientology in their own way, many people that left the church are now all over the place, and like what we call this program, they are in what is called the Freezone. And right now, one of the biggest groups in the world is in Russia. And they have a lot of members, and they're really flourishing and prospering. But again, it's not under the Church of Scientology.
You know, I'll tell you a little bit about my experience. Somebody might ask, for instance, well, if somebody gets kicked out of the church, can they get back in? And it's really not easy at all, because what happens is if you try to get back in good standing, you have to follow a certain set of procedures. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to be pay money to be interrogated, usually for things you didn't do, and it can be large sums of money. So for me, for instance, because my husband did not repudiate me, and he stuck by me, it would have been the two of us would have had to receive an enormous amount of counseling, supposedly, so that we could get ourselves straightened out.
What,
supposedly
in the $20,000s of dollars? Or
much more than that. It probably would have cost us between $40,000 and $60,000 right off the bat, and that's not. And we would not have necessarily been accepted back into the church. So we looked at each other. Now our older son, our oldest son, Zach, has not communicated to us in 6 years, because the church told him that he had to choose between his religion and his family. So anyway, I realized that our younger son, Johnny, wanted to go to college, and I was not willing to throw away his college education.
Of course not. To
pay this extortion money to the Church of Scientology. So it's like this Scientology uses the doctrine of disconnection or religious shunning to intimidate people and also to extort money from them in certain instances.
Yeah, and they also use the parishioners to control their lives and everything, because you don't want to be expelled of Scientology because you know you're going to lose a lot. And like my son, for example, was ordered to come to the organization, and he went to see what was going on, and he was asked if he was still connected with me, and he was ordered to disconnect from me. My own son. For
Pretty
what?
Terrible, huh?
Pretty terrible, yes.
another person I know, the father had been declared suppressive, and later on his daughter decided she wanted to join Scientology, and but she wanted to stay in good communication with her father. So the church said, well, the first thing that had to happen was the father had to not be allowed to talk to his own wife and his own daughter until he did all these steps, which was going to take 2 or 3 years.
And a lot of money.
And the mother was not allowed to talk to the father or the daughter, and the daughter was not allowed to talk to either of her two parents until this whole very complicated thing.
Complicated, yes.
So anyway, even though Aida and I know all of this about Scientology, the other side of it is that there's a lot of what we've thought to be very, very valuable stuff in Scientology. And can you think of one particular thing that you really like about Scientology?
Well, there's a lot of things I really like about Scientology. For example, the study technology. It teaches people how to study better. There's a lot of problems right now in our schools today, not only in the United States, but in other countries. And this type of technology helps the children to really learn and achieve abilities to appreciate school and to become good professionals and have success in life. That's one of my favorite technologies, the study technology. We do have another one because I studied law. I like very much the ethics technology. I know a lot of people don't like it because it has been harshly applied inside the Church of Scientology, but the ethics technology is actually an excellent tool to improve in business, to improve in your marriage, to improve in your life in general. I really like the subject of ethics.
So can you give me one little ethics tool that you like, as an example?
Well, for example, the conditions. And let's say that, let's talk not personal life. Let's say your business is not doing well, and then there's a series of conditions which has a series of steps that if you follow them, you get out of that lower condition into a higher and a better condition, and then you survive better. Like, let's pick up danger. Danger has a list of steps, and one of them is to find out what you did that was wrong, make a list of all the things and own them, like decide, yes, I did this wrong, and write it down, and then you make policies in your life so that this doesn't happen again. And I think that is very good, because how many people out there are making the same mistake over and over again, and they don't know what to do? Or like the condition of doubt. You don't know, you're in a relationship, you don't know if you should get out of that relationship, you don't know how to go about it, and then the condition of doubt gives you how to compare this situation with this situation. And see, and then from looking at both of them from an exterior point of view, then you can decide what to do on that relationship or on that job, or if you want to get a new job, except I like the conditions.
Yes. Yeah, what I like is, if I had to say what was one of my favorite things in Scientology, it's that there are some very, very, very simple memory exercises. It's amazing that I've only seen this in Scientology because it's so idiot simple. It's like a list of questions to help a person remember things in their past. Then when they've done this for quite a while and they are able to enhance their memory capability and remember things better and more vividly, generally people, without any prompting, start to recall past lives. And to be able to recall past existences just from actually improving your memory, because the memory we've found in Scientology just acts like a muscle acts. The more you exercise it, the better it becomes. And when you start to recall your past existences, you can kind of retrieve certain abilities and knowledge from the past.
Right, you're talking about self-analysis.
Yes. Self-analysis. It's a book called Self-Analysis by Hubbard.
Right, and that one you can even do it yourself.
You can do it on yourself.
It's like the exercises that you do every day for your body, but this one is for your mind.
Yes.
You grab the book, read the question, And then you can either answer in a piece of paper or think about it and recall, and then your mind will start opening more and more and more every day until it opens completely, and you can go to your past lives, even by yourself without hypnosis or drugs.
Right, exactly.
I like that a lot. That was what actually got me interested in Scientology.